Yeah, that's great. You know, what one thing you kind of touched on, and it kind of reminds me, is kind of the differences between the Senate and the Assembly. And I guess you having served in both houses in the past and recently, and you know, you're kind of seeing a lot of these 12-year members, you know, switching from the Assembly to the Senate. Can you kind of tell us what, you know, the differences you've noticed in you know, being a member in both houses, and kind of some pros and cons of both?
Mhm. Well, the obvious difference is that there's 80 assembly members and 40 senators, and there's a certain energy in the assembly with having 80 people that you know, if you can imagine having a class of 80 people,
Right.
there's, you know, you're going to find someone you like and somebody you want to spend time with and talk about policy with. And like I said, there's an energy that's created there.
Right.
The challenge with that is that you don't get as much of a chance to get to know people because there's so many people, and so that's one of the cons of the assembly, but it's one of the pros for the Senate. In the Senate, there are 40 of us, and half the number of people, you get a lot more time to talk policy, and our hearings are I think a little bit more robust because there's not as many people sitting at the dais that all want to ask a question. There's limited time. So
Right.
you have more of a, if you look at the hearings, you can see that the Senate on the floor, we have no time limits, which the assembly does. They ding you, and then you have to be quiet right after 3 minutes.
Right.
But that's because there's so many of them. If everybody wanted to talk, they'd go on all day. Whereas in the Senate, it's a little bit quieter. You have more time to talk about policy and to really get into the detail of the policy as you do your hearings. And so there's pros and cons to both. I'm enjoying being in the Senate a lot because people that have different political philosophies are having good discussions about where do we want to go on some of these issues. And I think that's really, really important.
Make sure you click the button below and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all our news and updates.